Hello guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I will show you how to efficiently test your API endpoints using some extension on VS Code without you necessarily working on Postman. Now, Postman is one of the widely used tool out there in testing and documenting your API. And for you to work with Postman, you need to get connected to the internet. You need to download the Postman application on your system. Now in this very tutorial I will show you how you can basically test your API with some extension on VS Code. Right now these extensions are no replacement to Postman, but they are very lightweight because they come pre-installed on your VS Code, which I believe is one of the widely used IDE out there, and you don't necessarily need to get connected to the internet. You can basically test your API endpoint using this tool, and that one of those tools is Thunder Client, and you can go to your VS Code editor and search for this IDE Thunder Client, and here I have it here. I've already have installed this tool on my VS Code. Now this tool looks very similar to Postman, but Postman have more feature than these two. All right, so I have a basic express endpoint here that I want to test with, which I want to show you in this very video demo, and you can also do that and test any endpoint you want to test with this tool as well. So I have an express endpoint here, a basic express and MongoDB endpoint, where I can get a list of all users in the database and then also make some post requests, and that will send in some user information to my database. So quickly, let me show you how you can test this endpoint with Thunder Client. Not just local API, you can also test third-party API once you have the endpoint. You want to have the address, the URL, and every of the information. You can go ahead and test this same way you do that on your Postman. So let me start my Express server and we'll test it with the Thunder Client extension. I'll run yarn dev, and this will start up my server on port 3000. Okay, yeah, my server is currently started right now, so let me look for the extension. Once you have that extension installed on your PC or your VS Code, and you have this Thunder Client icon shown on the lower part by the left nav bar of your VS Code editor. So I'll click on that, and these are some of the requests I made using this Thunder Client. You can see it's showing us some couple of histories of the endpoints I try visiting with this application. So I want to click on new request, and it also have this cool feature where you can have some of your collection, where you can have some collection where you can, just like we all have it on VS Code, and you can put in your collection there where you can register your APIs. It also have some EMV where you can have some some default EMV where you can put in some of the base route, and you have all of that just like we'll have it on VS Code. All right, so for this demo I want to test my API, which is on HTTP double colon. Let me just copy this and make some edits. My port is 3000 and the endpoint is users with the S. All right, so once I send this, and this is making the get request to my API, and this is the response. You can see all of that, status of 200 and all of that and all of this. So now let me make some post requests and send in some data to my API using Thunder Client. So for that I need to change my method. It also supports every of the methods we have out there, just like the way you have it on Postman. It has the get, post, put, delete, patch, and options and all of that. So I want to make a post request this time around. I'll select the post, and the endpoint still remains the same. Then I have to send in some body. All right, select body, and also make sure you select JSON right there. So I'll put in my name, the name I want to send, the name I want to send the name, Adeyemi Jaru, and then I put a comma. I just need to send the name and email to this endpoint. Email is ade at jara.com. All right, so this is basically some random generated name and email I want to send, and once I hit on the post request, that's sent my data to the API, and the post request successful, and I have 201 created HTTP response coming back to me. All right, so let me make a get request once again to that same endpoint. By now I think I should have some 4 records in my database. All right, so that is how you can basically do all of that, and you can pass in your headers where you can put in your authority, your bearer tokens, and everything you need to pass in, and make your HTTP post request, get request, and test every of your other endpoints. So that is basically it, and thank you very much for sticking around, and see you in the next video section.